Oh my god, I didn't have my mic on. Hi. Hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No mic, no mic. I'm here. Hi, Alex. Welcome to the critique stream. This music is so intense. What the hell? Oh, don't you haha me. Don't you freaking do it. Howdy. So, Cypress, I think you're the only person who submitted. So let's just jump into it. Though I guess I should do my little thingy, you know, my little spiel. Let me see. If you are watching this and you would really like your artwork or your writing critiqued, we every month pretty much we will look at your work and give feedback. I am an artist. Bones, the other person on this channel, is a writer. We'll give feedback. It's only about $8, and you can join through Patreon or by becoming a channel member, and you can get your stuff looked at every month, and we'll give feedback and tell you how you're doing. Yeah. But this month is just Cypress, so we're doing a little mini stream. Okay, spiel done. Alright, let's start with what you submitted last month, and we'll go from there. Okay, let me just check your notes. Right, so you redid the first chapter of your comic. You crunched it. And right, and I've looked at it before. I remember that. And you've done some redrawing, especially the fight scene. So you're looking for a critique for the dialogue and writing. How easy is it to follow? Comments on the fight scene, since it has changed. Added quite a bit to make it longer. And there's a few panels where I might need to add another panel in between to make actions more clear. But before I do, I want to know if you agree. Right, so things are being redesigned, so it's mostly focused on like anatomy and poses. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's new, but also not. Yeah. So, okay, so I thought overall you did a really... Yes, it is the Cypress episode. It's like the episode where you like delve into the backstory and they get like a really big focus, you know? Okay, so I thought, from what I remember, there's definitely been a lot of improvement on the fight scene. I found the action a lot easier to follow. And I thought you did a very good job with like kind of like action, like strike reaction, if that makes sense. I just thought it was nice, and easy to follow. And I only have some minor nitpicks of just like how to tighten things up a little bit. So if I look at the fight scene, right, so yeah, so I think everything works really well. I do like how, you know, you set up the fight, you have your establishing shot, you have them squaring up, and Blaze is like, "Are you sure you want to do this, kid?" And then I like how Inez's leg like cuts through the panel to like interrupt them, and she does like a kick, and it's great. And then I also like how you do a little pull-out shot, so we can see that Blaze has been like shoved back, and we can clearly see like the environment. Obviously, like you're gonna fill out the environment more once you work more on the pages. This is just to get the layouts and poses and stuff. But yeah, so I like how we can see like how much Blaze has moved with the scrapes on the ground and the motion. And I like the little stop of like Blaze being like, what the heck just happened? The only thing I think would make this like a little stronger is if we could still see... I just think this reaction panel of Blaze, it either needs to be pulled in to just show their face and be like, just focus on the emotion of being like frazzled by being pushed back, or I want to see like the feet just to kind of like solidify the movement, because like we can clearly see it, but it's nice to have it like what's the word, just like solidified by showing it again. So you could either have like Blaze like really small and showing the distance between them still, or just do a close-up shot if the only focus is to show Blaze is surprised. And I don't think with every action shot you need that like solidification of what's happened, but with this particular action where we're showing how strong Inez is and we're showing the surprise from Blaze, really just like showing exactly what happened and how odd it is, I think you really gotta like show it a couple times. But yeah, but then once like you get into the fighting more and it's more like kind of blow by blow, you don't need to like stop and focus on things. Like I really liked this page where Inez has Blaze pinned and is punching, and we get to see this little kind of explanation that there's like a magic force field around Inez. Yeah, exactly, because Blaze is like super heavy wearing their armor. So yeah, it's like, how the heck? How the heck did you do that? But yeah, but I really like this panel where we see, we get the establishing shot that Inez is like on top and punching, and then we see the punch land, and then we get a little close up showing the magic. And I appreciate that there's the little explanation of like what's happening, because you can only show so much before you need some dialogue explaining it. So yeah, so this one works really, really well. And then we get back into the action. I think overall, the way you're framing things shows the, like the motion really well, and it's easy to follow. Like there wasn't any point where I was like, wait, how'd they get there? How'd this happen? And I think for the most part, I'm trying to find good examples. For the most part, like you have a very good like follow through of motion. So coming back to this example where like Inez is throwing the punch, we see Inez and Blaze, how they're positioned. We're looking over Inez's right shoulder, and then we keep that angle as we show like the punch hitting. We're just like closer up. And then yeah, and then there's other examples of this. One I really like where you've got a big piece of movement, where Inez is doing a flip back and then lands. I really like just these two panels, how there's this kind of like circle of motion that's very easy to follow, where even though we change camera angles a little bit, it's still easy to follow just because of the arc of motion that Inez is going through. We can still tell like, okay, she flipped back and landed. Everything makes sense. Yeah, so I thought that was really nice. One place that was a little tricky is this page here, right before the flip, where you have Blaze throwing a punch. We're looking over Inez's right shoulder, and then we flip the camera 180 degrees, and we show Blaze's punch hitting Inez in the sternum, and then Inez goes flying, and we flip the camera around again. I think it's not hard to follow, because like you have everything positioned correctly, and it is just like a shot reverse shot, but I think it pushes the motion in the wrong way, because we're going like this way, we're going down to the left of the page, and then we kind of get stopped and the motion goes like up to the right, and then we recheck down here and there's like a little arc, where compositionally, like, we are following Blaze's hand down to the next panel, but it's just like the momentum of the motion is like pushing up to the right and kind of messing with like the vibe. So I'm not exactly sure how you'd fix it. It could just be you flip it and you keep us focused behind Inez and you show the punch connecting like from the right to the left, possibly. But yeah, that's just like a little thing to keep note of, where like the way the motion is moving in these fights, like if you want to kind of keep it along with your like visual flow, if that makes sense. But otherwise everything was very easy to follow, lots of great movement, really cool dynamic panels. I love this one where Blaze gets like smashed down. It's just very kinetic and fun. But yeah, really, really good fight scene overall. Not a hard fix to do, just might be tweaked a bit. Yeah, exactly. Just little things like that. But overall, really, really good fight scene. Definitely improved from the last version I saw. What's your opinion on the font change to show Blaze is getting spoken to? Is it clear it's a voice in their head? I assumed that this was Blaze's inner monologue. Is it someone else speaking? Oh, I guess that does make sense, because you have the... Because there is a thought bubble where Blaze says, I can't keep up. But yeah, I didn't connect that when I first read it. I just assumed that it was Blaze speaking to themselves in like a second person, if that makes sense. Yep, you're right, but there are little ones. Or there are thought bubbles where it is clearly Blaze, and then this other font is someone else. Interesting. So for me, I missed that. So, some ways you could fix that. It might help writing-wise to hang a lantern on it. Because if this was prose, you would be... You could, like, have a little dialogue tag saying, you know, like, the voice that speaks to Blaze said. But with this, it might help to just have like a little bit of dialogue where Blaze is like speaking to this voice. We went back and forth with wanting it to be subtle, but also the font we thought would help differentiate. The font does help. It will be more obvious. Okay, if it's meant to be subtle here, I think you can keep it as is. Yeah, I would test it with more people, especially once you have more like drawn and written. Yeah, I would test it with more people and see if other people are confused. Because it's fine if it's like, it's very subtle and then later you have a scene where it's explained like what this voice is speaking to Blaze. Like, you don't have to lay it all out in the first scene, if that makes sense. But yeah, I can see the difference now. But when I first read it, I assumed that this was just Blaze's inner monologue. Yeah. The other thing, my last little note, I think this first page, it feels a little flat, and I think the only reason it is because everything is so thoroughly boxed off. It might feel different once you add in like the backgrounds and stuff, but it feels very like boxed in compared to like the panels that follow, and they're also far apart. Like there's the through line of like the fight me and the dialogue that brings you through the page, but I think I just want to see more focus on Inez showing up, and then like, because I like this panel the way it's set up where she's looking like imposing and tall, and then we pull out and she's like tiny. I think it's just like if the panel was designed a little differently, like she's not so boxed in, I think that could help a lot with the effect. So yeah, that's just my note for page 1. They have a little helper they don't understand fully. Oh, okay, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it might... I don't know. I feel like I'd have to see the rest of the script to give better feedback about the little helper. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the dialogue. I felt the little helper talking and Blaze's thoughts really helped, like, with the... with understanding what was happening in the fight. I thought the dialogue was fun. I liked the relationship between Blaze and Inez. Yeah. Yeah, it felt like you set up a lot of good information so we could understand, like, the stakes of the fight and, like, what was happening, because it, you know, you are introducing, like, a magic system, and you're showing, like, you know, you're establishing right off the back, like, how big and how heavy that Blaze is and how small Inez is, and then subtly explaining, like, how she can hit so hard without it being, like, stopping and overanalyzing everything and stopping the action. Yeah, and then obviously there's more to it where we're setting up a larger world where it's like, oh, so there's like innate abilities and like enhanced magic. Yeah. 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 Did you have any other questions about this? That's it? Okay. Awesome. So then we can look at the designs. Okay, let's see. Okay, one is an alternate design for Seo. Someone you've seen a couple times. I may or may not have done an oops and you traumatized her. I like how it's improved since your first crit. Yeah, you've done a lot of really good work with it. The posing is so dynamic, and like the paneling works really, really well. Okay, so you traumatized another character. Okay, and now she has made a magical girl contract with a goddess to get revenge. Or I guess to avenge someone. I'd like to hear any comments you have about her, as any ideas for the magic she might do. When thinking about abilities, I realized I got more inspo from Madoka and gave her powers like Mammy, but with flowers. I love it. Okay, so... Right, so she's got the guns, but they're like flowers. I love it. It's so cool. Hello, Butterscotch. We are critiquing today. Okay. First off, I love the skirt. I love this like petal leaf skirt. It just works. It's just a cool little design, and it's great because the color matches so well with her hair, which is such a cool like standout feature of her. Right? I also want the dress. It's beautiful. If I knew how to sew, I'd have it. But yeah, I love the skirt. That's beautiful. It matches, the color matches with her hair. The shape is just so obviously like plant focused. It's really, really nice. It reminds me of, is it the evolution of Badoo from Pokemon? Where it's like wrapped up in a leaf? Hopefully I'm thinking of the right Pokemon. But it reminds me of that. Yeah, and then the colors feel well balanced. I love the contrast from like her dark skin to using like the bright purples and the whites and golds and the bright greens. I do like how you've got spots of the purple here, so you can see like the skirt, and then there's like a little bit of like an undershirt, and then you've got like the white ruffles on top, and then the little green on the straps throughout and with the necklace. And then we've got like the white again on the shoes. And I like the little like is it like a bleeding heart? Is that what they're called? The little plants that look like little hearts, but in gold for her design. They're cute. Nice little detail work. Yeah, where like her design is very intricate, but it also like on a whole is really, there's a lot going on that like brings you through the design and like back up and around. It's a very elegant design. Bleeding heart flowers, yeah. Yeah. And then she's got like the lily of the valley that's like in her hair is on the dress too. It's symbolism for the person she made the contract for. Stop it. I love it. Perfect. But yeah, it just matches really well with like her tattoos, the markings she has. It just works so nice. So yeah, a very elegant design, I think. Some of your best work. Yeah, and I just love how the ruffles like on the purple and on the white, like it just matches with like the shapes of her hair. It's just so good. Imagine the gun shoot out heart flowers. Yes. And I do like the flower guns. That's very cool. Where it's, yeah, they're very clearly made of like wood. With the flowers coming out. That's so cool. It also just, I'm also very taken by it because it reminds me of the scene from Princess Mononoke where they grow the flowers on the rifle. I got lazy and didn't render them. That's okay. I get the design. Hum. And then obviously she can like summon them with like vines and plant powers and stuff. That's so cool. I am wondering, you could bring some of the purple onto the guns, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm also wondering if you could bring a touch of the purple into her hair, even if it's just like on a hair tie or on earrings or something, just to bring it into her face a little bit more. Oh my god, that's so cool. A giant lily of the valley that rains stardust? Hell yeah. I sometimes forget I can do a ref sheet for my OC. Do it! Because then, if you have a ref sheet, you can give it to people and they can draw your character. So... just wanted more purple, didn't know where. Yeah, totally. Because you don't want to, like, overdo it, because it's a bit more of, like, a highlight color in the design. Yeah, just, like, a little bit, whether it's, like, a hair tie, like a ribbon or something. You could do, like, a very frilly ribbon. Or maybe something in the earrings. Yeah. You could even bring it into the shoe a little bit. That one's a little harder. I'm not exactly sure how you would, unless you bring in, like, the ruffles somewhere, but that's up to you. Yeah. I feel like a ribbon would go well with the rest of her design. More Madoka refs, yes, please. Yeah, did you have any questions about this one? I'm so in love with the skirt. Also, we love a skirt that's like short at the front, long at the back. It's just iconic. I also, in my head, I imagine her magical girl transformation is like, you see like a sprout come up and then like unfurl and she's like in it as the flower. That's it? Okay. Awesome. Alright, so then we have Zalia. Or Zayla. Sorry, not Zalia. The second is a redesign of someone you've seen ages ago, but I have since buried that story in the project graveyard and want to recycle characters. Gotcha. Into Estrella and Seo's story. So this is Zayla. Included her old design. Gotcha. The new version, she is a military guard in the town Seo and Estrella are helping rebuild. She works for the politician who gathered all the people there and takes her job very seriously, but that doesn't stop her from being fun when she can relax. As a Magnus Dragonkin, she has an ability where she can make sonic blasts with her voice. Sometimes intentional and also not. She likes to scream sing her fave songs, which tests the town's physical integrity. No! I told Airborne I imagine she sees another person transform. She's like, nah, no time for that. She busy. Okay, so yes, I do remember this character from your previous story. Gotcha. So now they drinking. Oh ho ho. Gotcha. Okay, so I really like, I like how luminous her, like, scales are. Because she's got the, like, the uniform she's wearing is very, like, you know, olive colored, a lot more dull. And then it really makes, like, the golds and yellows and stuff in her scales really pop, which is very cool. Yep, it's a good combo with like the greens and the oranges and the browns. They're very harmonious, but again, because like the browns and the greens are a bit more dull, the oranges and yellows really pop. I think you've got very good contrast through it. I like that even though you've got like this kind of olive colored shirt, it's broken up by a lot of details, like the belt going across the chest and around the middle. You've got buttons and stitches and all that stuff. And then same with the pants where we got stitching, we've got like a band, we've got some different like shapes sewn together. Where there's a lot going on, which keeps it from being boring, even if it's just like a big swath of like a similar color. And then same with like the wings, where things are broken up by like the muscles versus like the membrane of the wings. Yeah, a very sophisticated design. Right, she can do her sonic blasts. Right, and we've got the back. Oh, cool. I like the pockets and stuff being like hung on the tail. That's fun. And I also, with the posing, I do like the wings being like folded down and around. It's just very nice. It creates like good, especially with this pose where like she's got the gun slung over her shoulder, it just creates like good balance on the character. I also think you've got, the expressions are great. We can definitely see the character coming through. And she's very expressive. That's cute. I wonder if you could do something more with the hair. Not exactly sure what I mean by that. I think the shape of the hair works. Because it frames like the face and the horns. And there's good contrast between like the hair as well as like the scales and the horns. And it creates good balance. Because it feels very balanced with like the bottom half of the character. Where it's not like so big, it's like throwing things off, but it's not small and making the head look small. I wanted to keep OG Zalia's poofy hair, but now she's dragon, so I didn't know how to really do it. Yeah, because I love, like, with the OG design, I do love how, like, fluffy it is. And how you can see, like, the big ringlets in it. But I know, like, the dragons... I might just be thinking of Estrella, but isn't, like, their hair's a bit more feathery than it is, like, actual hair? I think what it might be... I wonder... It might be interesting just to see, like, another tone in it. It might just be flat because it's, like, a different type of dragon. Oh, okay. It might just feel flat to me just because it is, like, flat colored at the moment. And it doesn't have, like, hold on, sorry, I'm changing the music because there's a voice and it's distracting me. Okay. Right, so since it's flat colored and it's just a single color at the moment, I think that may be why it's like throwing me off, whereas like when it's like rendered out and you can see like highlights and shadows, I might feel different. Estrella is based on an Aztec Quetzalcoatl. Rosalia is based on a European dragon. Got it. But yeah, I think it's just like... I mean, there is like the little details of like the fluffies in the hair. But yeah, I think it's just... It feels kind of like single tone. And missing some kind of like depth to it. So it could be like maybe adding in like... I don't know. It really could just be like adding in highlights and shadows would kind of help make it work for me. Or it may be like, I don't know, pulling in like another tone, like another color, kind of like highlights, like natural highlights in the hair or something. Yeah, because I don't want you to get rid of like the fluffiness, because like the texture you've drawn like adds the fluffies. And it's got like a very defined shape, which is good. But yeah, I think that's it. I think it just feels it feels a little flat as compared to the rest of the character. But maybe I'm just nitpicking. I don't know. But yeah, she's great. I just like how much shape you've given everything. Like even just showing like the like the scales running down like the center of the tail. I like how we see how they like move. It gives them a lot of volume. And same with like the shape of the little finger muscles in the wings. It's just good. It's good stuff. Yeah, did you have any questions? What do you think of the story I've given her? Let me see. I like it. She seems like a nice kind of like side character. OG Zelia was kind of just there as Nyx's best friend, but I've given her a completely different story. I like it. It feels like she has a very defined personality where she's like, I think you could introduce her into the story in fun ways because she could be there being like very serious and like kind of scary. And very like competent at her job, and then later we can see her like goofing around and being silly or like accidentally like breaking something with her voice, which can add like some nice levity to the character. She and Estrella will work together. Oh, true, because Estrella is part of like the guard as well. Well, that'll be fun. I think you could do a lot there. But yeah, I think you've given her a lot of personality, which will work. I'm trying to remember, is Estrella like more serious or more playful? Because I feel like I've seen them in like silly situations as like drawings you've done, but can't remember if they're more. I wasn't as interested in making. Oh, sorry, different person. Forgot to add an OC. Estrella gets hired to deal with magical phenomenon happening on the island and the rest of the town can't handle, and then stays. Right. Yeah, so I think if like if Estrella gets like brought in, I think like Zayla and Seo could be good like established characters, and then Estrella can be like a bit of a like a POV character, like a fish out of water kind of thing. I think it'll work. I think that would be like a good contrast character to like help show everything off. Yeah, I think that could work. Did you have any other questions about anything? That covers it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for submitting, and being patient as we shuffle the critique stream down the line. Awesome. So, if anyone watching would like to have their work critiqued, it can be writing, it could be artwork, character design, comic pages, whatever. We do it all. You can sign up for our Patreon or becoming a channel member, and every month we will do a little critique. The next one will be at the end of January. I will be better and put out notice so that more people can join in, hopefully. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all for joining. Yeah. I hope everyone is doing good. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, I guess. I guess holidays are kind of done for now. Oh yeah, sorry Alex. Once you have signed up, you get access to like a little Patreon part of the Discord, which gives you access to all the submission rules and stuff. Yeah. No worries. Alrighty, goodbye everybody. Have a great day.